Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What the hell, man?
I'm schmoozing and eating tater tots. That's not even a joke on you. I was really eating tater tots. Some of the best tater tots I've ever had, covered in Brunswick stew and cheese. And the other one had pulled pork and cheese.
Okay.
So
I mean,
I'm off the rails.
I
I'm
mean,
off the fucking rails.
listen. I'm just gonna get it off my chest. When I call you, when I message you at like 4:15, and I'm like, "When do you want to do this?" and you say anytime, and then say 5 o'clock, and you're like, "All right." And then as we get close to
All right, look,
5, you're like, "Make it 6." And then when I call you at 6, and I can't get you to
it's
answer,
six. It's 6:30, but it's
it's
six.
6. Yeah, right. It's like there's a lot of weeks in a month, so it could be 1 week, it
I,
could be
I may
five
have had
weeks.
some chicken wings. I may have had some nachos and maybe a couple fried pickles, and I lost track of time.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, I mean, I'm just trying to get a podcast out from you finally because you bailed on the people last week too. So
I am a busy man.
you were too important to record a podcast last week, and now you're too important to and the two.
Don't act like you weren't having computer issues for the 400th time last week. Come on,
I was, but
come on.
you weren't available anyway. So
This is true, but you made it easier.
yeah, I was well. But then you're like, can we do it at like 11:30? And I'm like, dude, I got to work at 6 in the morning. I don't know who's going to edit and upload this thing because it's not going to be me. So yeah, we're back. We're back. It's Wednesday. We're back in action here on the Furlough Files.
We're back. I got good stories too.
You better, and they better not be about food because that got a little boring last time. Let's
No.
let's hit the ground running here. What do you? I mean, we let's explain why you couldn't deliver on Friday for the people.
Well, I was in New York City.
Yeah.
I
So
was world tour.
you were busy flying and driving and
Right.
touring.
I was in New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Delaware.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Very
So
important stuff.
yeah. Okay. So what happened?
You want to know what happened this weekend, or do you want to know
Well,
like?
you said you had some stories. That's all I care about.
Well, the three stories I wanted to tell have nothing to do with this weekend.
Oh, are you kidding me? Nothing
What is
interesting.
that, Pat?
Nothing interesting happened up there. I thought you had like.
You told me not to talk about food.
Well, no. Is that all you did was eat?
I honestly
I mean, if
don't get me started with the laughing.
listen, if the top 10 things are food, saw the Rocky statue, food.
That's about it.
I mean, I guess that's what I expect from you, but I would have assumed something interesting happened other than.
No, I don't listen. Don't worry about the noise in the background. I got to pay this machine here for my parking.
Well, what's a podcast without a bunch of ruckus on your end of the line?
Credit card. Your card is now
This is true.
processing.
It's processing my card. Do not remove credit
Your
card.
card is now processing. Processing complete.
I'm glad we get like
Oh, now
a.
remove my credit card. Okay.
I'm so happy
Uh,
we get like a POV
Play
of
by play.
this. Yeah, this is.
All right. So anyway,
Yeah.
the top. If you if you really want to know, I ate pizza on Thursday night.
No.
when I
We
got
don't.
to
We're
New
not
York.
doing the food journey.
No, it's
That
gonna
was
be a quick.
that-
It's gonna be a quick version.
last week. I started nodding off like
No. This is quick. This
like
is
I was
quick.
at
So-
heroin at a work meeting. So go ahead.
This is quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I have pizza Thursday night and think it's the best pizza I've ever had, right? Because
Right.
it's New York pizza. Then I have pizza on Friday night that may have been the best pizza I've ever had. I
Were-
mean, top-notch pizza.
Were you still in New York?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, no, it was in New Jersey.
Ah,
Hoboken.
so New York adjacent.
Hoboken, yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So that's all I have from the food front. I ate a lot of food this week. I don't even want to tell you how much I gained. It's embarrassing.
More than 5 and less than 10.
More?
Don't worry, pal. I'm right behind you. I am. I every day every day starts
I don't
with
even know how this happened though.
every day starts. All right, today's the day, and then like if I eat something in the morning, it's good. It's on like the keto diet and whatever, and then by like lunch or by dinner time, I'm like elbow deep in Chinese food or pizza
Right.
or something, mac and cheese. I don't know. It's been today. It was what did I fucking have today? Oh, a Philly cheesesteak in honor of you not getting one in Philly. So
Well, it's, I don't want to tell you, but I feel like for the podcast sake, I should tell the people.
yeah,
I weighed, I was like 228 last week, 229.
uh-huh.
Okay, so
Uh,
it's solid weight, right?
I mean, sure.
I hover between 226 and 230.
Okay.
I was 240 this morning.
you,
I'm like, whoa, how did this happen?
that's a solid. That's a solid 12 pounds. You can't even say that's all water weight.
Oh, that's pizza weight.
Yeah, that's a lot of crust sitting in your gut.
Right. And,
Oh,
and once I was off, I was off. I mean, I must have had 17 Wawa pretzels while I was up north. So
well, what did you do? Was it yesterday? You called me, and I knew exactly why you were calling. I said you're calling to see if I ate bad, so you can eat bad today.
I did. That was
I
like literally
I
why I called you.
I knew it. Like as soon as I answered the phone, I knew what was up.
Because it makes me feel better.
I know, because if listen, it's hard to go to hell by yourself. It's much easier when someone's holding your
Right.
hand.
Right. And I'm not even kidding. When I we went to the Atlanta Braves as a team for work. The Atlanta Braves like they have like all these restaurants and bars outside the stadium, and it's all open right now. And I really ate like 8 chicken wings. I ate 2 helpings of nachos, and I ate probably 4 helpings of these tater tots.
Jesus
I feel
Christ.
so sick right now. Like my chest hurts, my stomach hurts. I have the worst headache. I'm in such bad shape, but I'm back on tomorrow. Back
Yeah.
on.
That's I.
I'm back on.
Right. Listen, all I know is every time you've posted about a meal on one of the social media, I just keep commenting, "Welcome back, welcome back to Fat Fuck Phil."
I'm sick though. Like I feel so, and I haven't worked out.
Yeah, me
I didn't
too.
touch a weight.
Me too. I feel terrible, but that food's so good going in. So
Oh God, the indigestion I have right now. It's so bad. I just burped. I hope it didn't come across because I'm hurt. I'm hurt right now.
oh my god.
I'm hurt.
So
Well,
yeah, go
go
ahead.
ahead, because the stories I wanted to tell were their stories about life, the things that happened to me, and
Oh
I was
Lord.
telling Paula something, and Paula's like, you got to tell us on the podcast. And I was like, you know what? I got a couple stories that I don't know why I never told.
Well, you have okay. You have a lot of stories that need to be told that you can't tell until your kids are like grown
Yeah,
adults and you have no one left to embarrass.
right.
But until then, yeah, any story that you have that is safe
But
to tell, you should be telling because they're usually pretty
I
good.
think the first story,
Mm.
I think you wanted me to tell it actually.
Well, yeah, because it's kind of funny, and it. I mean, you told it to me in brief strokes, so I probably have some follow up questions, which made more sense to ask you on this.
Well, it's funny because you sparked me once I told you this story. That today at work they asked they asked everybody what your dreams and goals were, and I said, well, I always wanted to like speak to people, like and be some sort of like, not like a positivity or like life coach. I just like talking to people. I said, and I told the story to work today, and everybody was like, it's probably not the setting to tell that story in because everybody was like, huh? And I was like, yeah, I mean, because the funny part is they were there for the original speaker. All of them were. So they were like, "You thief." So here's the story.
See,
I didn't think about it when I told it because I was like, "Well, I just told this to the people that were there. Like, they're
we,
gonna think I'm
we it's so funny we're laughing at something that
right."
that we haven't told yet. So go ahead, because
So I always wanted to speak to people, be some sort of motivational, I don't know, speaker, whatever. I like talking, so I got this opportunity. Somebody I know introduced me to somebody who does like works with youth. So I'm like, it's like, oh, you always wanted to speak, and that's what she does. And like, she's like, you want to try it? I was like, he's like, yeah, it'd be cool. Like, and it was like it just happened. She was like, we'll just show up here and at this school and talk. So anybody knows me, I don't plan anything. I'm not a planner. I don't like nothing.
Well, there's
So
a
instead of
difference between planning and
right,
preparing. I think those are.
right,
You also don't prepare. Let's get
no,
let's cover the broad. Let's get the whole umbrella of
right,
what you don't do. It's not just you don't plan, which is like a lot of times it's we're doing this at this time and yada yada, and it's like pulling teeth
right.
with you. Although other people like to know what they're doing in the day and don't want to sit around all day waiting on you to call for a podcast. Anyways, I digress. But
All right,
you also choose not to prepare, and that can come in many forms. Whether it's washing your gear for your next wrestling show,
right, right.
or as in this case, actually writing out what you're going to speak to people.
Okay, so that's what happened.
Right.
So instead of planning this out and writing it down and coming in prepared, I showed up to talk to 26 10th graders that all have either one parent or no parents. And I showed up with nothing. Like, nothing. I had no notes, nothing.
Right.
And the woman never really kind of told me, like, how it was going to go. So I thought, like, from the original conversation that she was going to talk and then, like, I was going to kind of just be there, like it was my first time, you know? She gets in and she's like, this is Anthony. He is a former pro wrestler. And I'm like, oh, no, she's throwing it to me. And she's like, you got 45 minutes.
Oh,
Now I'm
wow.
like, oh, shit. I got 45 minutes to talk to these kids they all look fucking miserable because they have to be there and they don't want to be there.
Right.
So I was like, oh my God, think quick. Like, this is, you got to go.
I bet
Well,
they got to hear the full Mr. Perfect story.
yeah. Probably not one I could tell the 10th graders
No, you cannot.
at AS. Yeah. So anyway, I quickly thought back to last October, the same week as this week last year. I went to a work conference
This
and they
is
had a guest speaker.
okay.
I don't remember, Matthew something, and his whole thing was on dreams. I enjoyed his speech, but I also memorized pretty much all of it. So I literally just stole this man's entire segment that he probably got paid buku bucks for to speak to. Uh, I just started using his stuff as if it was mine, and I plagiarized the hell out of it. And all of a sudden, these kids are engaged and they're talking and they're raising their hands and we're having this full conversation. And now, like, now, once the conversation kind of got into conversation, I only used bits and pieces of what he said. I didn't because we were having conversation. Well, at the end, it ends. Everybody's engaged. And I was like, I don't know how it went because it's my first time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one kid comes up and thanks me, and he talked a lot about he wanted to be a boxer, and I talked about what their dreams and goals were. But I literally stole this entire guy's shtick. So
You're probably lucky that that he didn't find out because you'd be owing him money.
right, I mean, whatever. Fuck him. I read his book. The kid thanks me after, and the lady comes up to me with the teacher, and they're like, "These kids, we've done this before with other people. They've never even spoke. Like they've never engaged. Like the engagement was unbelievable." And I was like, "Really?" And like the one kid that was the boxer that thanked me, she said, "He's been in this class all year. He hasn't said a word. Like he doesn't even talk to people." I'm like, "Really?" She's like, and he was having full like. So do you want to? Nobody knew he wanted to be a boxer, and he was training to be a boxer. Like nobody knew that because he never told them. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like, oh my God, I just stole somebody's whole thing, and I'm like, this is getting over. The lady turns to me and says, this is before COVID, everybody, so it's in February, and she says to me, I want to give you 4 more bookings. I'm like, what? She's like,
Huh?
that was for your first time? That was amazing. I was like, oh, okay.
So are you
And
thinking you got to just tell that same thing to 4 different
I
audiences?
swear to
Or
God, my first thought was, I hope it's 4 different schools because I'm running with the same story.
or do you have to buy the guy's other books?
Right. I don't know. I now assume this guy is role. Like I'm him now.
Oh my God.
So
You're
she
like
gives me the 4 bookings.
you're like Gallagher's cousin that also tours as Gallagher.
Dude, that's a real thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's two Gallaghers out there, or there used to be, and they were like
Wow, I didn't know
had the
that.
same hair and look, and
Wow.
and they were doing the same
Yeah, that's
routine
me.
with the watermelons and the hammers and the jokes. Yeah,
Wow, I didn't know that.
he had like
Well, so
he had like franchised himself out. Yeah, and then they had a
wow,
falling out, and then they were suing each other. So
that's great.
yeah.
Well, so she gives me 4 more bookings, and I'm like, well, and I did this one for free, and she's like, somebody from the state is gonna come, a social worker to watch because like they have money to pay turn into paid gigs. I'm like, oh my God, this is really happening. Well, lo and behold, my karma came because COVID hit and all my bookings got canceled, and I haven't heard from her since.
Well, I
So
assume they're not ready to put on any engagements for kids or
yeah,
anybody unless you want to do it on a Zoom or something.
right.
But yeah, what
Hey,
were you?
by the way, I don't mean to interrupt this conversation. I am in downtown Atlanta in dead stop traffic, and there's a new billboard up. It is John Moxley. It's a picture of Moxley. It says John Moxley, World Heavyweight Champion. Is that what it says? And it says AEW Dynamite Wednesdays TNT. That's pretty cool
Yeah.
for you wrestling nerds out there.
Well, TNT is like
Right.
Atlanta, so that's
Yeah, but it's a huge billboard of Moxley, and it says John Moxley.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's cool. Anyway, yeah, so the gigs got canceled. I don't know. She did ask me to do like a video, and it was awkward. It was like a YouTube video, and it wasn't the same because I honestly couldn't work somebody else's gimmick on YouTube. That probably would have got caught. So
Right.
so anyway, that's
So
the time that I thought I was going to be emotional. I really want to do it, but
what?
like,
Yeah, but what the hell are you gonna do? I mean, because you can't really steal someone else's shtick. You gotta.
no, why not?
I mean, I guess you
You
can
never know.
until you get caught, and then it's. I mean, look, yes, you have no shame. So, like, you getting caught and being exposed as a fraud. I mean, you were a pro wrestler. Nothing's gonna like
Right.
it's just gonna be water off a duck's back for you. But I mean,
This
but
is true.
but
But it happened. Whatever.
But what-
I liked it. I had a good time.
I bet you did. But I mean, you can't. Especially now that you told the story on the podcast. I mean,
Now everybody knows.
you probably need to like come up with your own. I mean, just telling life stories is probably enough. You've got enough good stuff in there. As long as you like PG it up. But
Right.
I mean, it's got to have a theme, I guess, and whatever. Maybe a moral to the story at the end. But
And that's why you don't do drugs, kids.
yeah, right. That's why you never drive through Greenville, or whatever. Fucking,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
But I think
Yeah.
I would recommend. Listen. We know it's established. You don't prepare. You don't plan. But I think
Never.
I think this is a case where you have to. At least if you want to be like. I mean, I guess if you want to be a hobbyist and just do it for the hell of it. But I mean,
But like, here's the thing: is I can get up on a stage and talk to people. Like, I don't have the fear because of wrestling. I don't have any of that. Like, it doesn't bother me. I just need content. I need like a ghostwriter.
well, you can
Something.
write your own shit.
That would take like preparation and planning.
Yeah, you don't possess either of those, so
No.
I'm kind of
That was
excited.
the one story I wanted to tell.
I'm excited to see how that flames out for you.
How flames out.
I mean, come on.
This is true.
Right.
Hey, I'm passing the varsity, by the way.
Oh, that place sucks.
It gives you the shits.
Listen. The Varsity is the most overrated place in Atlanta for food.
By far the most overrated.
By far the most. The food is nothing
Awful.
Nothing to speak about. Everyone's like, oh, you gotta go to
It's like
varsity.
dog food.
Yeah, go to varsity. Now the
Yeah.
place is cool. Like if you want to just go
Right.
there and buy a shirt, so people go, oh,
Right.
the varsity. You went to the varsity when you're in Atlanta. That all right, whatever.
Yeah.
But the food sucks. I mean, if you're gonna go
Sucks.
get
The
burgers,
worst.
go to I would go to the Vortex. I would say
Agree.
that the best place to go when I used to go to Atlanta. You know what I'm gonna say, right?
Are you gonna say Mary Max?
No,
Did you ever go there?
I'm gonna say Abdullah the Butcher's
Oh, yeah.
House of Ribs and Chinese food.
Lots of ribs and Chinese food. It was in the ghetto. It was, oh my god, that place was so sketch.
It was. It
You
looked
walked out of there with yeah, you definitely came out of there with tuberculosis. Or
the hep something.
something.
Listen, it looked exactly like it sounds. Like
Dude,
it looked exactly like it sounds. Abdullah the Butcher's House of Ribs and Chinese food, but the food was out of this fucking
it
world.
was, and you got a lot of food too.
You did.
It gave you a lot of food.
And we went that one time because we're wrestling marks, and we were in Atlanta for
Yeah.
WrestleMania, and it's Abdullah the Butcher, and he was
Right.
he was there 2 out of 3 times we ever went there. So it's cool, and there's wrestling photos all over, and it's of course Abdullah the Butcher. So every photo is blood. You've got this restaurant, and the walls are lined with bloody photos. But the food is fantastic, so good that we were like every time we go to Atlanta, it's a rule we have to go there, and we did until the place
Right.
burned down, which
Burned down, right?
which I assume was insurance. Had
Did
to
I
be.
ever tell you I don't know if I ever told this story about Abdul the Butcher. Did I ever tell it in the car?
about how the windows, how it was hot.
Yeah, did I ever tell that story?
And he starts smoking a cigar. I think you told it
Yeah.
on the podcast. I'm not sure
Maybe I did.
because
Yeah,
we
I
were
think I
saying that we were then making jokes that I'm your honest John.
Yes, that's right. We did talk about it.
Yeah.
You are my honest John.
So I don't know what podcast that was, but you could go back and listen to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so that's the one story I wanted to tell. I know you died laughing when I told you that I wanted to be a motivational speaker. I don't know how I never told you that either before.
Well, also, in context, I'm picturing you as you are post-COVID with the woolly mammoth look, the you know.
I didn't have that yet. Yeah.
Right, but I'm picturing you doing it with your big man bun and your fucking unshaved 10-inch beard and whatever else. Speaking of which, before we get into
Did you hear the beard news today?
well, I've seen that you did some trimmery. I don't know what you did, but
I mean, listen. It's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here.
you've been milking
Tuesday.
you've been milking the reveal on TikTok all day. You've got people angry with you.
Right. So I'm gonna go home right now and finish my video, and it'll be out tonight where you can see my. I do not. When I say I have a beard still. It ain't nowhere near the beard I had. It is. Let's just say I thought I was trimming it longer, and it didn't happen.
So it's more to the actual contours of your face. We know where your chin is right
Yes.
now. Okay, I know.
I may have put on like 20 pounds this week, but my face looks so skinny. But it's probably because I haven't seen it since like February.
Right. The question I have is because you had mentioned that you were going to do a goof at work for. Was that what you did?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you shave a?
I did. It's like that right now.
Well,
But-
hold on. You could tell it because this doesn't air till tomorrow.
Right. So I made a bet at work. The bet was that if we hit a certain percent during inventory, I would do something to my beard. Well, they said you got to shave it like a Fu Manchu. Now, I'll tell you. Hopefully, nobody from my team listens to this, but I didn't think we were going to hit the 95%. There's no chance in hell.
I know my
Not only
people.
did we hit the 90, right. But not only did they hit the 95%, we finished number one in the company.
Oh no.
We've never finished number one in anything.
This is like
Right?
me losing the disco bet.
Right. So listen, it's so bad we finished number one. I got a call the next day that 10 minutes into the call, I'm like, are you questioning why we're number one? Like, even other people were like, how the hell did you win? Let's be number one.
We know
Right?
you, and
Did
we know
cheat?
your
And I'm
people.
like, I didn't cheat. Right,
we
right.
know you. We know your people. There's no way. I want to
Right.
recount.
So yeah, no, I got the heat for being number one, right? So anyway, I shaved it today, and I thought the reaction would be greater. So I intentionally came late. The meeting started at 9:30. Well, I say intentionally. I stopped at Target to buy Italian rainbow cookies and muffins, but that's another story for another day. So
When
I
are you
just for
eating
me, by the
those
way,
if
not
you're
for
back
everybody
on?
else.
When are you eating those if you're back on the diet tomorrow? Are you eating
I
all
ate them
those?
all today in the meeting. That's probably why I have the worst headache in the world. You don't know the headache I have. Not only did I
Oh,
have a headache, my headache was so bad today. It's still bad right now.
my
It was
head.
so bad,
I just
and
gave
I was
myself a
falling
headache
asleep.
laughing.
Oh no, I was sleeping. They started throwing candy at me in the meeting because I was out. I honestly thought for a second I ate so much sugar. I'm probably in a diabetic coma. I'm going into a diabetic coma right now because my body is like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
You're in shock. That's they're like, how
Yeah,
did this guy get number one? He's falling asleep in the middle of the meeting.
right. So anyway, I
Oh my
shaved it
god.
like that, and I thought the pop today. I thought the room would erupt when I walked in. Like I thought this was it. Like this was my mania moment. I walked in. I opened it. And I swung the door open like ta-da! And everybody turned around and they're like, "Hey!" And everybody just turned back around. I was like,
that's
I was
so
like,
that's so Costanza.
"Whoa, whoa, whoa!" And they're like, "What? What?" The guy was like, there was somebody like presenting, and I was like, "Come on, I did it!" And they're all like, "No, no, not really. You're not clean shaven." And I said, "Oh, no, 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 that wasn't the deal." They said we just wanted the Fu Manchu with the clean shave. I said, "Oh no, 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 no! This guy never. I look like a fat baby if I clean shave." I said, "This is as trimmed as it's getting,
Can
and
you
you're getting the Fu Manchu."
can you imagine you lose like 10,000 followers on TikTok if you showed that fat baby face?
Nobody would ever follow me. They're like, "Looks like a fat baby."
Oh my god.
Right. So anyway, I shaved like this for nothing. I got no pop out. They didn't care. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I sat. Then I had to sit. I think it was more for embarrassment because then I had to sit in a room for 8 hours today and go out to dinner looking like this.
Did
Right?
did any like random strangers look at you funny or
No. So then we ran into. We have two teams in Atlanta, and I run both. But I'm only joining the one team for the meeting. Well, the other team was having dinner at the restaurant next door. So I said, let me go stop in there. Now they don't have a clue to what the contest is. They don't know what's going on, right?
right?
I walked in and they're like, "Why the hell did you shave your face like that?" I was like, "I lost a bet with the other team." They're like, "God, it's awful." It's like the one guy's like, "You look creepy." Yeah.
Oh,
So they did. They actually lobbied for me just to have a mustache, and I said, "No, that's really creepy. I look like a porn star from like
yeah.
the '80s."
Like long sideburns and a mustache.
Right. And the long hair. Oh
Just for a day, give it a shot.
no, it's not happening. Stop it.
Come on.
So anyway, yeah. So I'll pay reveal here in a minute when I get home.
Yeah.
But besides that, and we're gonna come full circle here. So my poor planning and preparation for anything. I had two more stories to tell. I forgot one already, but I remember the other one, and I didn't write it down.
You piece of shit. You fat
I'm,
piece of
I'm trying
shit.
to stall with this mustache story because I'm thinking, shit, what's the second thing? I forgot the second story.
You need to get like
Oh,
a
I'm crying.
the notepad on your fucking phone and
Right,
just jot
right,
shit down when you think of it. You're fucking us.
right. Well, so the other story I was going to tell is this.
Uh-huh.
So I don't like flying. I hate flying. You know this. I message you guys all the time how much I hate being on the fucking plane. Turbulence happens. I think we're dying. I think it's because I'm not in control and I'm like a control freak. So probably why I'm single. But I
Guess that depends who you
I
ask.
right. So uh, uh, you threw me off track here. So
Good.
I don't like flying, so I had to fly on Thursday night, and our friend, our good friend of the show, Paula. Um, I don't know how I got to messaging her, and I was like, I just don't like flying, and it makes me really nervous, blah blah blah. So she talked to me for the whole 2 hour flight through message to calm me down, right? Because I had the Wi-Fi.
I'm a little.
But,
I mean, I guess that's. I don't know. I know that it was smart not to message us because,
right, because you guys just laugh at me.
yeah, we put
No.
put the fear of
I
God
know
in
your
you.
game,
Hmm.
right? Anyway, so me and her message. She calmed me down. It's cool, whatever, right? I messaged a couple other people too that were just like trying to cut it down. Paula was there. She was like a rock star, right? So uh, she said, "Why don't you take a Xanax when you fly?" And I said, "Oh no, I have a Xanax story." And I told her the story. She's like, "Why would you not tell that on the podcast?" And I was like, "You know what? You're right."
Well, I'm glad you remembered this one at least.
Right, and I don't know how I remember this one. So this was it was before 9/11. So it was literally August of that year. So I went to New York with a buddy of mine, and my brother gave me Xanax, and he said, I didn't know what it was. He said, you know, take these, take one each, just take a half, and it'll calm you down. And I said, all right, cool. So I said, how do I get it on the plane? Well, now I was young. I put it in my sock, right? This story is so stupid. So I put the two things, and I wrap them up, and I put them in my sock, right? Now it's before 9/11. I mean, you could smuggle anything on a plane. They didn't check shit then.
Right.
So I I'm nervous. Like I am nervous because I have Xanax in my sock. Why didn't I just put them in like an aspirin bottle? I don't know.
Right.
So they're in my sock.
It's a
Right.
prescribed thing, anyways. You know, it's not like.
But yeah, I don't know. I never took them before. So uh, I don't take it to get on the plane because I was like, I don't want to take it now. So we're getting on the plane. We sit down. It's me and my buddy, and next to us is a guy with U.S. Marshal. I'm like, oh my god. So now I'm like fucking panicking. The best part is he's got a prisoner with him,
No shit.
and they're sitting next to us, the prisoner and the U.S. Marshal. So I'm panicking, and my buddy's like, you're so nervous. It's being obvious. I was like, I got Xanax in my sock. He's like, who gives a shit? I'm like, well, the U.S. Marshal. Maybe he's here because he knows. He's like, he's here because of the fucking prisoner, right? So anyway, I'm nervous the whole flight.
Can we pause?
What?
Any conversation with these people the whole flight? Like any?
Oh no, I was gonna get to that.
Okay.
It's even better.
Okay.
So this is a multi-leveled story. Here.
Okay, it's
So
okay.
All right, we're on the flight, whatever, and they come around with the drinks. And at the time, you had to pay for snacks. And I'd never flown by myself before. I mean, I was like, I'd never flown by myself. So the lady came around, and I was like, oh, I want cookies. She's like, oh, they're $2. I was like, oh, I don't have $2. I mean, I was like poor as shit. I don't even know why I was going to New York. That's where I was going to New York, by the way. So my buddy's like, I don't have $2. The fucking marshal reaches over with $4, and he goes, buy yourself some cookies. I looked at my buddy. I was like, he knows it's in my sock. He's baiting us in. He's like, shut the fuck up and take the $4. So I was like, oh, thank you, sir. The prisoner is not saying a word, but the marshal's buying the prisoner all this food. The prisoner's like munching down on chips and cookies and drinks, right? Whole thing. So we get the cookies, whatever. We get off the plane, and obviously the marshal wasn't there for us, like I thought he was. And for those who don't know me, I'm like a nervous wreck with shit like that. I get like freaked out. Anyway, we get to New York, and that night we go meet his brother. His brother works in a bar. So we go meet his brother, and we're at this bar, and I have a couple drinks, whatever, right? And I don't even think I was old enough to drink. I don't remember. But maybe I was. I don't remember. But for some reason, I think I'm going to take half the Xanax now. Drinking.
Right.
I didn't know. Nobody told me. So I pop the Xanax. My buddy pops his half. And I'm powering down fucking beer. And I said, it's weird. My brother said I would feel something. I don't feel anything. I'm going to take the other half.
Oh my God.
And my buddy's like, well, if you're going to take it, I'll take it. All right, cool. I pop the other half. It's a full bar. Boom, boom. So I'm drinking. I don't remember very much after this point, but there's a few details I do remember. And this is where the story is hilarious. First part, I remember going to the bathroom. I do not remember coming out of the bathroom.
Uh-huh.
I remember my buddy's brother shaking me. I was standing in the middle of the restaurant that we were at the bar with my zipper down, standing there.
Well, at least
And he was like, "What?" And he's like, "What's going on?" And I was like, "I don't know. I think I just blacked out." He's like, "Yeah, you were out, dude, standing up." So he's like, "Come to the table." So he gets us to the table. I'm out. I'm laying on the table at the bar, sleeping, like head down, out. So he's like, "You guys got to go home. This is bad. Like, what happened?" And I was like, "I don't know. My brother gave me these Xanax things. I don't know what they are." He's like, "Oh my God, did you take them all?" I said, "Yeah, I took the whole thing, and your brother took the whole thing." He's like, "You guys have had like 10 beers." I don't feel so good. I gotta go. So he gets us in a cab, and I remember the cab driver vividly was an Indian guy with a head wrap, right? Beard, head wrap. Smells like curry in the fucking taxi.
Jesus.
So we did.
Calm down.
I remember this. So we get it. He puts us in the taxi. I do not remember the ride to the house. He lived in Astoria, Queens. All I know is the next thing is this guy's like, "Get out of the taxi!" Like he's like getting up, like shaking us, like, "Get out, get out!" You know, because I mean we're passed out.
Right.
So we get out of the taxi. We each had a backpack with us. We get out of this taxi. I'm like, "Oh my God, I feel like so bad," and like I don't even know what just happened. Like, how did we get here? Where are we? He's like, "I think we're at my brother's house." I was like, "Oh, cool." He's like, "My brother gave you the key to the house." I was like, "When?" He's like, "Before we took the Xanax." And I was like, "Okay." So I looked through my pockets, my backpack. I don't have the fucking key. I lost it. Now, his brother's still out partying. So the key's lost. And as I'm looking for the key, I realize $50 is missing out of my wallet, which was in my backpack. This fucking guy stole my $50, this taxi guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They probably went through our wallets, whatever, because we were out. So now we're in Astoria, Queens. We don't have a key to this apartment. And I am so fucked up. I'm like, I got to go to sleep. And he's like, "Well, what are we going to do?" I took my backpack, I put it on the floor, I laid down, and I just fell asleep. In New York City, outside, on the floor, like I was some sort of hobo.
You fucking bum.
Next thing I know, I'm getting kicked. Someone's kicking me.
Mm-hmm.
It's my buddy's brother.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I'm like, "Huh?" He's like, "What are you doing? What are you just sleeping out in the street for?" I was like, I lost the key." He's like, "You lost the fucking key to my house?" I was like, "I lost the key. I don't know, and I don't know what to do." So we went to sleep. You know how dangerous that was, number one. Number two, so he gets us up and like gets us in the house. I lost the key. I lost $50, and I will never take Xanax again because of that. That was the worst. But it gets better. The next day, I shit blood for like 6 hours straight
How?
and thought I was dying.
Oh
Like
my
I
God.
thought, this is it. My insides, like I don't know. I'm dying. I die in New York City because I took a Xanax and drank 10 beers.
Unreal.
And it went away the next day. I wasn't shitting blood anymore. But what a fucking night that was.
Yeah,
But I will never take a Xanax again.
I used to get blackout drunk where like I wouldn't like I'd be like totally functional, but I don't remember anything that happened. They're like,
Right.
"Yeah, you were great. Like, you know, you're doing this, you're doing that, blah blah blah." I literally have weekends where like we go out and I don't remember anything about them, and then over the course of like 2 or 3 weeks, it would be
Tell you.
people would tell me things and it would all get pieced together. I wouldn't remember it, but I would know what happened. And
So for the longest, when I got to the house, I do remember my fly being down still. And I was like, No, I swear to you, I will never forget this. I turned to my buddy and I said, I hope that fucking cab driver didn't fucking diddle my twinkle over here in my pants. Because I didn't know why my fly was down. I was like, why is my fly down? I'm like freaking out.
Maybe,
Like, like go
maybe,
inside my pants or something?
maybe you were shitting blood for another reason.
Well, when his brother got to us the next morning when we woke up, his brother's like, you came out of the bathroom and your fly was down. He's like, I don't even think your dick was away. Like, I think you were like, you came out, you were so fucked up. He goes, you were in there for so long. I went and got you, and then you were like, oh, I'll be right out. And then you came out, and then you just fell asleep standing up in the middle of the restaurant with your zipper down. And I said, well, you didn't put it up. He's like, no, fuck it. I figured I'd leave it like that. So he left me like that on purpose with my fucking zipper down.
That's what I would do too.
Well, I know, right? That's a good rib. I agree. But
It's great.
yeah.
We had
So
we had the one time where like Jackie used to run like a hotel room, so we would go out like to downtown Fort Lauderdale or somewhere, and be out drinking all night, and he would have like anyone that needed to crash. We had like they'd always rent a suite, and
right.
I mean you've crashed there. You've been molested.
Oh, yeah.
You've been molested while you were sleeping there. But
Right. 100%, yes.
you and Blake have both been molested there
Yes,
by the
no
same
doubt.
woman at the same time. But
At the same time.
there was one night where we were always pregame there, then go out, then come back. There was one night I remember leaving the hotel room and heading towards the elevators.
Right.
And next thing I know, I'm sitting on the couch in the apartment, and it's like 7 hours later.
Really?
Swear to God. I'm like looking at pictures and videos on people's Instagrams and stuff. Don't remember any of it. But apparently they were like, at no point was I not functional. Like where I was sloppy, falling all over or anything
Right,
like
right,
that.
right.
They were just like, no, you were a great time. You were fun. And I'm like, I don't remember any of it. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah. I probably, it more often happens when I take something with drinking.
Right, right. Me too,
Like
right.
like usually
Molly. I don't like doing that.
Molly or something. But every now and then I'll drink too much, and then what? Like one time at the poorhouse, I'm sitting at the bar, and it was used to be like I worked right by there, and like I'd work till like 10 at night. I'd go hang out with a bunch of guys downtown or whatever. But some nights, like on a Wednesday, I would just go sit at the bar down there and drink till 4 in the morning. And one night I got so blitzed that I was sitting there watching, I think it was like a horror movie on the TV while I'm sitting at the bar drinking. Next thing I know, I'm waking up. I like literally fell asleep sitting up at a bar stool, and I look down and my adult beverage is gone, and there's like a freshwater bottle sitting there. So I have no idea how long I've been sitting up straight at a bar stool at a bar. But
They
literally,
switched you out for a water bottle.
but in that time, they switched me out for a water bottle. And all I know is that however short that nap was, I was like reinvigorated. It was like I'd gotten 8 hours sleep that night. I was like wide awake,
That's
and
so
I
funny.
hung out like another hour, and then I left.
Wow. Yeah, I don't like drinking. Obviously, I don't like drinking. But yeah, that night I was rough. Now there was another story I wanted to tell. I don't remember it. So
Well, maybe you'll remember it between now and Friday's show, and we can.
yeah,
We can.
I think I have a lot of stories to tell. It's just a matter of what I can tell and what I can't tell. and
Right. Some I guess you
but I
could.
think I have a lot of stories.
Some I think you could omit or edit things, but what does it
Right.
hurt the story? If it hurts the story, then maybe it's not worth telling. I mean, eventually, I think we have to get back to the Mr. Perfect story because I feel like
Eventually,
we've tried to tell it twice now, and
that's a good story.
God or other outer forces have
Or
conspired.
Mr. Perfect himself.
Maybe Mr. Perfect himself
Yeah.
has intervened and
And I did think of this though. I would love to tell stories about my dad one day.
Well,
You don't even know these stories. If I told you the things that have happened to my dad, some I was there for and some I wasn't, I I think you would fall off your chair.
I mean, you're promising something. Now you're gonna have to deliver it. I think you need to maybe write down a few notes to remember the best few, and we'll give it a shot.
Oh, I can vividly remember a few of them because I was there for it, and at the time being like 12 years old, and your dad does something that's the most hilarious thing ever. I think about it now, and I'm like, oh my god, we could have all went to jail. Just funny shit that my dad's done
Well, that's
that you died for.
if that's not a teaser for Friday, I don't know what is.
Yeah, I can tell a good couple short stories about my dad for Friday that will have, and if you watch my TikTok and you've seen my dad,
I
it
mean,
makes it even better.
just I can't not just picture him reading the menu at the restaurant with his phone flashlight on it.
Oh, you just well, I know when I tell there's a couple stories that I probably will have a hard time telling because I'll be laughing so hard, which will make you laugh. And the stories are so funny, you're gonna laugh. That this is gonna be a good episode Friday. So
All right.
stay tuned.
Are you saying this wasn't a good episode?
I actually enjoyed this one. I will
Okay.
tell you. This is probably our last week with the Billy Fives one. That was just that stroll. Don't get me started. I'm on the highway. I'm on like a 1-lane highway right now. And if I have to think about, because I honestly just visualized Billy. I can't. I'm driving in the other lane.
I can't. You let.
I'm driving between 2 lanes.
We haven't even told this. We haven't even like.
I gotta pull over.
You just saying Billy Fives and laughing makes me laugh. I can't. We're not even talking about
I'm
this.
on the highway. I can't do this.
We're not even talking
my
about this
God.
story. We're laughing. Oh my
I'm
god.
crying. Oh my god, I'm crying. I'm gonna get pulled over for a DUI. They're gonna think I'm drunk driving. I'm all
Well,
over the road.
just tell them the story. That would be the greatest thing ever. If you got pulled over,
I'm crying.
just hit record on your phone, even if you just catch the audio, and explain to him why you were driving erratically. And I bet you that cop starts crying laughing too.
Oh my god. But it's not even. I actually. I can't even start to think of the story because I think of Billy leaning over.
Oh, you gotta stop. So I sent Billy a TikTok of a guy ripping like a fucking 10-second fart, and he just replies back something like, "That guy's an amateur. He wasn't even coughing at the time."
Oh my. Oh god.
Oh,
Oh my god.
I feel sick now.
Yeah. Oh my. I needed that. But wow, I can't even. Because every time I think about it, I'm just picturing.
Me too. Every time.
Like, the visual is so clear.
It's
The blue shirt.
it's I knew it would be like it's like it just happened. Oh my god.
Oh my god, it's so clear.
Oh.
Oh my god, I'm crying. I really have tears pouring out my face right now. Oh, what a good way to end the podcast. I feel like we should bring this up every so often, just cause.
I mean, it might it might derail him, but in a good way, I guess.
I mean, he actually shared it. That's the good thing.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to kind of like get him on to tell it from his side.
From his perspective, I would be crying laughing if you got that to happen. Oh my god.
Oh my god. He's willing
All
to do
right.
it.
Well, good podcast.
Oh, it's a little long.
There we go.
At least
I
we
just got that out. I'm
nice.
holding on to that one.
At least we didn't talk about food the whole time. All right,
I mean, I can.
yeah. Oh, I know. Believe me, I know.
Oh yeah, I'm sick. I don't want to talk about food.